Another thing that I did was add to the FMEA document. I added lines 19 through 25. These are all pertaining to either the bed leveling or the tool changer. I want to make sure that we take into consideration all the possible things that could go wrong. The number one concern that I have is that a collet gets crushed by a machine user. I see this as almost a given that this is going to happen at some point or another, and there needs to be something put in place to prevent this from happening. Another problem that we had, which you can see in the simulation that I made with the vise and the tool changer magazine both being in the machine simultaneously, is that there's nowhere to put the part probe that creates the circuit. I'm talking about that now because that is another potential problem that I put into the to this document here on line 19. Electrical tool probe fails. So I came up with an idea that could potentially solve both of these problems, where the tool changer magazine has a laser on the top of it that can, it's either going to be broken or not broken. Let's say during a tool changing process, a collet gets stuck in the machine. You could program in a cycle so that when the machine comes up, after releasing the collet nut, it can come back down. And if the beam is broken prior to the z-axis hitting a specific height, we know that there's something still in in the spindle that's not supposed to be there, and the machine can stop. That prevents that failure from happening. Also, with the tool probing, not only is there nowhere to put it, but when there's nowhere to put it when the magazine and the vise are in the machine, the other issue is that if that circuit fails for some reason, the z-axis will come down, the circuit won't complete, and the tool will, or the machine will keep pushing the tool in the negative direction till the circuit completes, which is not going to happen until it goes all the way, the tool goes all the way through the actual probe device itself. So that will crash the machine as well. A laser, on the other hand, we could use that same laser that I mentioned for the checking if there's a part in the collet to touch off a tool. I'm hoping. I don't know if it's definitely, but I know other companies have done this, so I know it's possible. The question is whether or not it's affordable. I believe it could be. I used $100 lasers that were able to detect things that were $300,000. Okay, so it's most likely going to be under $100. Um, the best part about that feature is if the failure prevention device breaks, the laser breaks, the beam is broken. Okay, and in all situations, if the beam breaks, the machine is going to stop, right? When it's coming down to check if there's something in the spindle, the beam is going to be broken prematurely, whether or not there's something in the spindle because the beam isn't working, because the lace is not working, the device failed, and that's when it stops. When it's coming down to do a probing cycle, when the beam breaks, it stops. If the beam is broken because the laser is broken, then it's going to stop. So the failure device itself prevents failure from happening if it fails.